What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Doe Show. It's your boy Dame D, and we are back with another one. Today, we're going to be talking about: are you the love of your partner's life, or are you the second best? Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. Or are you the second best um to that situation? I should say. Excuse me, I don't stumbled over my words, but DJ Shiny D, I'm going to go ahead and let you start this situation off. And and start off with, I'm not going to say some of the questions, but this conversation is and a lot of people may think I'm not going to say offensive, but a lot of people may not want to say this in front of their significant other or their partner, but it's not really a bad thing to be second best, and that was the word that I was looking for. Are you the love of your partner's life, or are you second best? So that's my question that I'm going to be asking to everybody. And I'll start to show off with with my scenario. Second best may not always be a bad thing, and I'll start with my whole synopsis about that. I'll give a situation where it was me and a cousin of mine. It was two females that we approached. And we both wanted to go after the same girl, but he ended up saying something to her first. So he went with that, and I was left with, I'm not going to say the second best, but the female that he did not choose. And it's not a bad thing. And why I say that, second best is always not a bad thing because this woman, the second choice that I had, I end up marrying this woman. I was with her for over 20 years.
Hmm.
So it's not, a lot of people may think that when you say second best or second choice, that it's always a negative or a bad thing, but in all actuality, it's not. And at the end of the day, I always give at the end of the show. I normally always give a moral to the story. And I'll go on ahead and do that now. Second best is not always a bad thing because at the end of the day, you have to love who loves you. You have to respect who who respects you. You know what I mean? So DJ
I'll be
Shiny
trying to
D,
do
I'm gonna
agree
go
with
ahead
that.
and let you take it over and give your opinion on what you think about the whole conversation, I should say. But I'm about to send out some emails, so go on ahead and keep the show going, LaShawn.
Okay, first of all, I need you to relax.
I know I'm rushing because I
Okay?
want to send out these emails. Y'all gotta
Okay,
excuse
calm
me. I'm
down.
I'm hot. I've been rushing trying
Okay.
to get here.
Yeah,
I'm stumbling over
man.
a few words, but we about to get it together. So I'm about to send this
Yeah.
email out to T. But yeah, give everybody your opinion on what you think the
Hmm.
conversation. Have you ever been in a situation where you may want a tall, dark, and handsome because everybody wants a tall, dark, and handsome, man, and every man wants a bombshell woman, but we may not get what we want. Sometimes we have to settle for second best, and a lot of people don't want to admit that,
You
but
know, I like that word
sometimes the
settle.
people that we're with could be our second choice or the second best. But did you send that email to me, G? I'm about to send it back out to her.
Um, I just texted her and said it to tell her to resend it to you.
Okay, I think I got it. So go
So
ahead,
it's
DJ
again,
Shiny
all
D.
guys again. It's all guys again, huh? All right. Where Nicole
No,
go?
we
Oh,
got
she
we
in here.
got
Oh,
Nicole in here.
Nicole
We
there.
got
Okay.
we got a
Hey,
female
Nicole.
in here.
I
I'm
think.
on here. I'm on
Thank,
here.
She,
okay. I
we
think
got a
that
female on here.
I think if somebody is your second best, you should never tell them, especially because it's offensive. And I think that if you
What
told
makes it
me,
offensive though?
even if I was your fourth choice, you should never let me know. You should make me feel like I am your first choice.
What up, T
And
White?
that,
Welcome to the
What
show.
what up with it?
and that is,
uh,
right. And that is something
he's
that
in here. Okay. Okay.
I really want to hear from you guys.
Okay,
Like,
let me
I
start this
want to
over.
know,
I might
because,
not. I didn't do my introduction correctly, so I'll
okay,
start it
it's
over with.
okay.
Are we the love of our partner's life, or are we the second choice? So that's the question. That's the topic of today's show. I need for each one of you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share to the show. It helps the channel grow. But go ahead, DJ Shiny D. Finish breaking it down. You say you think that's offensive to your partner. Why? A lot of people don't be honest with their partners. I
And
think
Hmm.
it's
that's
it's just
That
an
where
is
and
honest
that's
true.
where a lot
situation, a
of
good
that's where a
conversation
lot
to
of
have with
bad
your partner.
and
But
that's
I
where a
think
lot
it's
of bad communication come from.
what that's where what comes from, Gordon. I
A
didn't
lot
get
of
it.
bad communication. That's where a lot of bad communication come from when you just don't be honest. Like you shouldn't care or shelter no one's feelings. You just got to be honest and let them know. Because if you're not honest, it's gonna always be mishaps and bullshit.
I
Okay.
understand you, Gordon. I understand that point. But what I can say to this is if you even suspect that something is going to hurt someone's feelings or diminish what you guys are building, then why the fuck do you have a need to say it? It can stay in your head. You don't have to come out. Like, be smart about what you say. You can't just have diarrhea of the mouth. So, oh yeah, your coochie was a little dry last night. You why? Do we need to know that? So there
End
could
of the
be
day,
too
because
much
you're
honesty. It could be too
dragging
much.
because you're dragging them and prolonging them on in life instead of just letting them go and find their happiness.
Well, how now just
But
say
instead,
this
you
is
want to be
not working?
selfish.
But no, you don't have to be selfish because you could just say this is not working. And and I no hard feelings, no beef. Like,
So,
I
uh,
wish you well. But
so
why
hold
why
on.
do you have to be like I'm leaving you because your breath stink at 6 o'clock in the night in the evening or something?
Listen,
Or you know what
Well,
I
I,
well,
mean?
well, well,
So
wouldn't you want your partner to be honest with you and upfront, DJ
yeah,
Shawnee D?
I would be. I would want my partner to be, I mean, brutally honest, to be honest with you. But I am
Yeah,
just saying
that's what
to
I'm
show
saying.
tact. Let's show tact though. Like when we are being brutally honest, there needs to be some discernment.
hold on. I'm sorry.
Okay, now I'll allow you to come in, Joe. I'm gonna ask you that same
Oh,
question. Do you think you're the love of your partner's life, or are you the second choice in your
well,
significant other's life?
if you referring to currently, that I'm my wife's choice, and
Okay,
she's my choice.
okay.
See, here's the
Or maybe
thing.
she just didn't tell you you were her second choice.
Well, I know for sure that I'm her choice because she reminds me every damn day how much that she made the best decision in her life. Her kids she reminds me. I have no questions whether or not I do my spot what my thing is. So I know I'm my wife's choice because I can show you text messages right now that was just about an hour ago how much she loves me. She constantly reminds
That's
me and let me
beautiful.
know.
Right.
I
So
love it, love.
so
See,
that's
and
what I
for
just
and,
got
and for
you.
those who had just joined the show, like Nicole and Tom, there's nothing wrong with being the second choice, because I gave an example of me and my first wife. We were she was my second choice, but it worked out for me, because like I said, I was with this woman for 20 years, had a beautiful young daughter,
Hmm.
and like I said, it's not always a bad thing. It's just like I said, you have to love who love you. So I'll ask you that same question, Nicole. Are you the love of your partner's life, or did you just settle for second best or whatever came along?
Okay, let me say this. I'm gonna answer and address a few things that y'all just said. I just like came from out of like dating. So basically, like me and my guys like still in like the dating stage. So basically,
Yeah.
we are like not kind
There
of
yet.
locked
You
in.
ain't there yet.
Like I don't feel like we locked in until like maybe what a year from
Right.
now.
Well, you can talk about
No,
past relationships too,
hold on,
because
hold on,
like I
hold on,
said, I
hold on.
talked about my past relationship, so I
But
gave an
but
example about that.
but hold on. Don't put a time frame on when you get locked in. Let me give you a brief history of how me and my wife met, so people understand. I was, COVID is when I just got out of a marriage, like just before
Excuse me,
COVID.
Joe. Not
Yeah.
to cut you off. It was my turn.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh,
I
oh,
mean,
oh,
She said she
not.
had a few
Now, all
things.
right,
you're
go ahead and
right.
finish
I'm
it off,
sorry.
Nicole.
And then Nicole,
I'm
you
sorry.
didn't answer the
Let me just
question for real, Nicole. You didn't answer the
That's
question.
true too.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be the
can I
relationship that
answer the
you're in now,
question?
Nicole. It can
Go
be a
ahead,
past
Nicole.
or a
Go
present
ahead.
relationship. Just
Okay,
to give an
correct.
example of, I should
I'm gonna
say.
get to that. I'm gonna get to that. So, okay, the guy that I'm with, I'm dating right now, or whatever. Like he like want to take steps faster than what not what I'm looking for, but what I was expecting. Like, ready to
Wow.
buy a ring, ready to propose. Like, I'm supposed
And
to
how
meet
long you
his
Um,
been
mom.
dating him?
I'm supposed to meet his mom, etc. Right? But
Well, how
I'm
long y'all
not
been
going
dating?
against that because I do want to be married. I do, I just want to
yeah,
make sure that it's right, if that
right.
makes sense or whatever. So that's one. So I can't really answer the question as far as like saying are we for each other or is we second best to somebody else. I don't know. I won't know that until until time go on. But
Right. I agree.
for now we think we are perfect for each other. For now,
Oh,
right now
okay.
All
we
right,
just
so look,
And,
so how long y'all been dating? Dang,
hold
I'm
on
sorry to
real
cut
quick,
you off.
Gordon. I want to ask the women this question. Now, and I'll start with you first, Nicole. Do women choose men? Because most women most women say that they want tall, dark, and handsome, but do most women choose for security versus tall, dark, and handsome, or looks? I should
Now
say.
let me get to
What's
that.
she
That
talking
was what I was aiming at next.
All right, go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Uh-oh.
when I was younger, I would choose like the flashy, super handsome, like the panty
Right.
dropper guy. Like everybody see him and they want to, talk to him. Okay, so I want that to be my guy because everybody's looking at him just like if a guy see a female that all the guys
Yeah.
want and they want to main her. They want that to
hmm
be their main thing because they like that, I guess, that attraction.
That
So
bombshell.
when I was younger, that's how
Okay.
I used to think. As I got older, I realized that it's not about looks or it's not about like the looks or whatever. Now I'm not gonna say it's not about money, but it's not about looks. Like I can date a not so handsome guy, but he's attractive with his personality, the way he carry his stuff, the way he treat, the way he treat women, his mom, his, females that he come in contact with, the way he talk, the way, his whole
Yeah.
like demeanor. I can rock with that. I can
But
rock with that.
but they see that would be the perfect definition of you settling, because
No,
you're not attracted to that man, but
no,
you're only accepting him
You get the point.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
everything
no.
you
yeah. In
just
so many
said.
ways it
Now
is. In so many ways it is. It is,
listen.
and that's
I can definitely be attracted to him after the time goes on. He's
No,
attracted to
because
me.
you're
Mm.
no,
settling
no, no,
still.
no,
You're
that's not how
still
that works.
settling.
So
That's
You're
does
not how
that
still
that
make
settling
you
works.
until you get to that point. Time is right because you're still settling until you get to that certain point, to that certain standard, to where you're trying to. How can I say this?
To even
To he
like
meet
you.
the requirements that you like, the requirements that you want and that
Yeah,
you
see,
like,
He
I was just
until you
getting
honestly
get
ready
to
to
a
say
already
that.
certain
G.
met.
point.
See,
He
is it
honestly
more
already
of
met
you?
the requirements that I
So how
want.
long
It's
y'all been
anything
No,
dating?
outside of
How
looks.
long y'all
no,
been dating? How
because
long y'all been dating? That's what I want to know.
I'm
How
not
long
talking
y'all
about
been
my
dating?
guy. I'm not talking about
Right.
my guy. I
no,
That's
dated
all.
I'm
I
Hold
wanted
on,
to
saying,
G.
know
Go ahead.
that.
Let Nicole finish answering. Go ahead,
I'm
Nicole.
saying, as in general, you said this guy had all these
I'm
criteria.
saying
He met him, but you
I'm
wasn't
not talking about
attracted
my
to
guy.
him. But you're allowing yourself to
I'm not
date him.
talking about. I'm
No, I'm
not
not
talking about
saying
my
your
talking
guy.
about
guy.
I'm not
another guy?
saying your guy. I'm saying what you just said, that you
You said
if the
what
guy
happened?
did this and did that. If he did all the
That
stuff that
doesn't
you
mean
just,
I'm settling though.
you are settling.
That
Because
doesn't mean I'm settling.
listen,
Just because I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm looking at
you're
him and
playing
we
it
were going
safe
on
though.
dates.
But you're
Listen.
playing,
Hold
Hold
you're
on.
on.
playing.
Let
Hold
her
on,
finish it,
listen.
Tom.
Hold on,
Listen, I'm
but
not
she's playing
saying
it safe.
I'm not
You're
saying listen, I'm not saying when we go on dates or when we, together or something, I'm
Damn.
looking at him like, oh shit, he ugly as fuck, but I'm gonna, close this out of my mind. No, that I'm just saying, well, I have a type. I've had a type. I no longer have a type anymore. I don't have a type anymore. It can be somebody that I would have never dated. I'm not saying that he's not attractive and he's not would have looks. He's just not the person that I would have dated. I
Right, and
gave this person some
I understand
time.
what Tom
I'm
for.
getting
I understand what Tom trying to say. He's not the guy that you originally. He's not he's not the bombshell, the tall,
that
dark, and
I
handsome. But was it the security that attracted you to him that made you want to date the guy?
it's
So it
not
wasn't.
just
It wasn't.
I gotta
It
go
security.
back
wasn't
It's
the.
not just
so
downstairs.
security. It's
Fuck.
also
I
the
keep forgetting
personality, the way he
shit,
carry
dog.
himself.
This shit
Like,
irritating.
security that comes with it, of course, but it's like I go off of like personality and like the way a man treat himself, the way the man carry himself, the way he carry his finances and stuff like that. That
Right.
just
So
makes
the
me.
the question was though, was he your first choice though? That you what you rather have went with
oh,
him or
no.
the guy that you actually really wanted? So
At
was
this
he your
at,
second
at
pick?
this time and day and the age that I'm in, I'm going to go with what's best for me, not with what I was thinking about when I was a teenager or when I was in my 20s or something like that. No, I'm gonna go with what's best for me and look better for my future. Like, and that don't
But,
have nothing to do with like looks or what
but
my
I can
standards was
understand
at that
Nicole.
time.
Right. See,
I
and
can
I want to, and I'm
understand Nicole.
in the same
Wait a minute,
question,
wait a
DJ
minute. Let
Shiny
me
D. I
say
want
this.
you to answer that, and then I'm gonna go
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
come back
just
to
want
you,
to.
men.
I want to agree with Nicole on that because what she is saying to you, gentlemen, is that is her first choice. Is security and what she needs in her life is her first choice. So it's not settling because she has made that her first choice. She was
Correct.
saying she used to be one way
Hmm.
and now she is this way. She has evolved and now this is her first choice. She's being smarter, is what
Yes. Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
Okay,
That's
now
exactly what I'm
now this
talking
is for
about.
all the men. Now I want to ask this question, and I'll start off with you first. With you first, Gordon. Do you think men normally choose? We normally choose with our hearts. We don't normally like look. We don't normally go with the looks. We normally choose who we fall in love with, who our heart is for. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put it in a way where you guys can understand. I think men don't normally go for, you know, how women go for the tall, dark, and handsome. You know, I think men, we go with who loves us.
50-50. I
Are
get
you
where you
are
coming
are
from
you
with
Yeah,
it.
so
are
I
you
want to
in
ask you
Get
that,
reality?
you guys, that question.
I get where you coming
What?
from with that. I get where you coming from with that.
All right, now go
With
on and
that,
answer the question.
so with that being said, that's like a 50-50 thing because most guys do go after the bombshell, that pretty thick light skin thing, that pretty dark skin red bone, or that red bone thing. Most of us do. Most of us don't just go for straight looks. But see, me, now that I'm the way I'm at now and how I'm set up now, I
Nicole,
go
I see.
after.
I heard what you said.
I'm com- I'm coming after your mental. Like, if you're mental all the way together, then that means you have a lot in order. You have a lot stuff set. You have set in stones if you're mental together. If you just on some, "Oh, I'm about to go outside this. I'm about to go outside this weekend. Oh, it's party time. Turn up time. Your mental not together yet.
Correct.
Okay, and
Correct.
But
I'll allow you to
That
come
was
in,
a
Joe. I'm
mic
asking you that
drop.
same question.
That was
That's
Do
a mic
you
So
drop.
when
like,
you chose your wife or your significant other that you with, did you go with for the looks, or you chose her for what she had to bring to the table, like far as just with the security, and what she had to offer you,
I got
what
this
she
right
brought
this
to the
one.
table, I should say.
when
It
I
did.
first,
That bitch lit up.
so
You
when
said
I
what?
first,
Oh, I'm sorry, Joseph. Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
all
Joe.
right, all right. So at that moment, I was coming out of a relationship, so I didn't have no intention of actually looking for a wife. So I was just looking for some companionship because me and my last relationship, we was together for 8 years, and that was over with. So, and I met my wife online.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
oh,
so it wasn't like
Right. That
we
was
met,
risky.
and
okay.
so
Boy,
I didn't
you're
have
right. But it worked
because
out.
I was working a lot, working a lot
Yeah, you're right.
and
This bitch that went out. Yeah.
going through a transition. I didn't have the time to. It's the same what I do now, work a lot, but besides Christ, but I was just looking for somebody for companionship. I didn't know it was gonna go where it goes, and so she's not a second choice of mine. She was when I met. Look, I was juggling with two. So when I met her and I met this other girl. Veronica was the one who was interested. Other girl took him, had just other motives, I guess. And this man, she was just talking when I wanted to talk. We both been divorced. We both had children of the same age. So when I got to know her, I'm like, man, this is somebody I have more in common with. Both of them was pretty. Veronica is prettier. Veronica also had was thinking like me. Other one, I couldn't get her to. She was working a lot. She was working at the post office. So,
Mhm.
but anyhow, that's off topic. But so this is when me and Veronica we end up just hitting it off. So it wasn't supposed to be marriage. It wasn't supposed to go there, but it ended up doing that.
Right.
And
So
Right, right.
just a piggyback
and
from
it,
you, Nicole, you were saying something about it. You got to give it a year. So that's the killer part. Me and my wife, we met in August. We made it
But,
official. We made it official in September. We got married in March.
all right.
Y'all got
Mm.
how many? How, say it again.
So we met in August.
And they
We
got
got
married in March.
we made it official boyfriend girlfriend in September, and we got married in March.
So that's how my guy is thinking right now.
And guess what? And I'm gonna tell you why. For a woman, you should be cautious because you remember you're gonna bear most of the damage from this.
Oh, I know.
all
I'm
right,
sorry.
But
now Tom, I'm gonna ask you. I want you to answer that
okay,
same question Joe just asked. Do you think that
but
you
I will get to it in a minute. Finish.
was your significant other your first choice, or were you, or did you settle for the second best, or what was, or what just
Mine's
came along?
mine's a little different. Mine's a
Okay,
little different. So mine's kind of, I guess, fell into me
okay,
because at one point in my life, I only dated light skinned and brown skinned women. Never no dark skinned woman. My wife is the first dark skinned woman I've ever been with.
See, and that's
So
crazy that you say that. Not to cut you off, we've all, I think, at younger ages, we all had preferences that we
Yes.
wanted
Yeah, that's
that
true.
we
Yes.
originally would
so
choose over,
yeah, mine's
Agree.
anything else. But go
my
ahead, Tom.
yeah, mine's most definitely used to have to be light skinned, brown skin, skinny, medium, no fat girls, uh
Hmm.
long hair, medium hair, no bald head girls. You know,
See,
that's how it used to be.
Right.
everybody had a preference.
Yeah,
Yes.
But
see,
then
and
Hmm.
there's nothing
but
wrong with that,
then
and like I
but
said,
then
second choice sometimes is not,
so,
it may sound like it's a bad thing, but it's not, But go ahead, Tom.
Let's
Finish with your story.
so um I grew up here in Michigan. I had moved to Michigan in what 91, me and my dad, but my dad had moved back to Alabama, so he had back surgery, and my dad was stubborn, so he decided 2 weeks later to go outside trying to cut the grass. But I was here and he was in Alabama, so I went south. Like I'm gonna go home for a couple of months and head back, but I never made it back. This was in
Mm,
'08,
okay.
so I ended up if you know me, I got into old school cars and I started working on my old school. And I was like, dang, I need some extra money to finish, to pay my rims off that I had bought. And I was like, all right. So I used to strip and wax floors. So I started working at the
I thought
hospital.
you were saying you was a stripper.
Nah,
Okay.
I used to strip and wax floors, and the hospital was hiring for that. So I went to work in the hospital. My wife, at that time, she was working in dietary. And she think I lie when I tell her this, but it's actually the honest to God truth. I had
Hmm.
never been into dark skinned women, but the day that she walked past me, I swear on my daddy grave, I felt like a tingly feeling when she walked past me.
Right.
And it did something to me. And she was the first dark skinned woman I ever had with. So we got together in October of 2011,
Hmm.
and my son was born January 28th of 2013. But we didn't get married until 2020.
Okay.
But we 5 kids, 2 dogs, cat, and
Hmm.
bought her a house.
See, and that was a perfect example of not being probably your first choice or what you
So
desired. You know what I mean?
so
It was she was
she
something that
so when the reason that me and her actually ended up together is because like I guess a few months before me and her met, the girl that I was dating kind of had a mental issue. She started carving my name in her legs,
mm,
and I couldn't take that
It's
at the
at that
fatal
crazy.
time.
attraction.
Wait a
I ain't know
minute.
how to. I ain't know.
That's a
No,
McDonald
Tom,
girl.
you can't come to the
I
barbecue.
didn't know how to deal with that, so I cut
Right.
her off. I cut her off
No, you did.
altogether, and
Should
that kind
have
of
cut you
scared
off.
me. It scared me.
Right.
Now my wife now, she's a nurse. She's a nurse. Great mother. I don't have no issues with her. I mean,
Right.
we bump heads on certain shit. She probably hates shit that I do, and I hate shit she do.
What up, though,
But
Ryan?
Going
but
on?
we vibe most days, but we be at war.
Okay. All right.
But
What up, though, Ryan? You came in a little late on the
let me
conversation. We
let
are
me say
talking
something,
about
Nicole,
are you
real quick.
your
I let him
are
finish.
you your significant other's first choice, or are you settling, or is she settling for second best? Are you your significant other's first love, or either are you settling for second best, or was she your first choice? That's the
So
kind of the
can we
questions
do
that
this
we're
real quick?
asking.
Can we do this? Because Ryan is looking like a deer in the headlight. So
Okay, right. Let me start all
let's
over.
go back to
Today's topic is: are you the love of your significant other's life, or were you the second choice? And
so
that's
let
vice
me
versa.
say
It can go
something.
both ways.
I'm gonna say something and then we'll go back to Ryan so
Go ahead, DJ
he
Sonny
can
D.
kind of get a feel for the conversation, okay? So I just feel like most men that I know, I'm not talking about you guys, most men
Hmm.
that are in my life are not with their first choice because either of convenience, niggas get out of prison, they need a place to live, and they just end up, or somebody got pregnant or whatever it is, they ended up with that person and they're happy now. But if walking down the street, they would have probably never turned their heads at that woman. And they just needed something from her at that time. And then it grew into love. And so I know niggas that have just been like, so you want to get married? Like,
Yeah,
No, no.
and like I said
That's
in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with the second choice, because I'll give another example. You know how you have your grandmother and grandmother and grandfather that may have been together for like 30 years, and once all the kids got grown, they separated, so they may have not really wanted to be together, they were just together for the kids. So Ryan, give us your example of your situation and being with, in a relationship with the woman that you're with or your ex that you may have been with. Was she the first choice, or was it just a, was she just wow, I can't believe I'm messing up, but was she your first choice, or was she just a second option, I should say? Sorry about that, you guys.
I'm gonna give you an answer from my past, my
There you go.
recent.
You
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Listen,
My
second
man.
choice is always not bad, and I'll tell you why again. But go ahead, Ryan.
So I'm gonna say I was second choice with this relationship. It wasn't my first, but at the time being, it was like the woman was well established, had transportation, things that I needed to handle my business at the time. So I bit the bullet, how you say, humble myself, act accordingly.
You settled.
So she was the second choice. She wasn't the love of your life, is what you're saying.
Nah.
Okay.
No, but at the moment I knew what I needed to be doing. And at the time, opportunity presented itself and I took that.
See, and I think most men probably go on that type of that timeline that you kind of said, Ryan. I'm not gonna say we all want that knockout, like Tom was saying earlier, like he had a certain woman that he was looking for. At one point in time, I only wanted to date light-skinned women, a certain height, a certain build.
Not me.
You know what I mean? But
Not me.
as I got older, I understood that, everything that you may want may not be good for you. You know what I mean? And this is what I was saying. At the end of the day, you have to love who loves you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes going for that bombshell or that tall, dark, and handsome, have you in fucked up situations most of the time. You know what I mean? So, that's why I want to come up with this topic, this conversation, because we talk about a lot of this stuff, at work, and this conversation stemmed from, a lot of stuff that, we talk about at work, and I just wanted to bring it to the table because a lot of people are not honest, with themselves or with their significant other. You know what I mean? And I just want to bring this to the table just to see what, some of the opinions that you guys would have.
But that's
DJ Shiny D, I'll go ahead and let you go ahead with the next question.
But hold on. But hold on.
Go ahead, Joseph. I want Joseph. Yeah, I want to hear what you got to say. I want to come after you.
I was trying to get there, and this is where I wanted to feedback on the call real quick. Listen, and I know you're saying it's a year. He rushing, and he probably is. When me and my wife made a decision that we were gonna get married, it wasn't no come up, let's go get married tomorrow. It wasn't that shit. You know how it happened? This shit gonna be where gonna blow all your damn minds. I think Ryan might know it because I think I explained it, talking to him and Zoe about it, and Robin. But me and my wife went to Vegas on a normal vacation, and we sat on the edge of the bed and we look at each other. It was I don't know if it was God, maybe not, because we got done having sex before then, so it could have been God.
It was Don Julio.
No, it was no Don Julio. All right. One that, because we didn't even drink. What she was drinking wasn't me. And we just sat on the edge of the bed. We look at each other, and I was like, "You think what I'm thinking?" Pretty much. She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Let's go get married." We got married in Vegas, like an Elvis wedding. And guess what? It was right. You know why I know it? Can I explain why it was right? Why it was right? Because we've been together almost 5 years, right? And we don't have no arguments. Everything syncs.
Okay.
When it's right, it's right. It doesn't, and there's no time frame on that shit. People want to put time frame. You said it maybe a year, I will fall in love, we can get there. It doesn't take that.
Yeah.
Me and my wife knew
No,
we. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can agree with that. I can
Yeah,
agree with that, but I'm saying like with how fast he's moving and
that's
just
not for
me
you.
knowing me,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that it's not for me, but I like to like because like a lot of things can transpire within
I
in that
agree.
time. I'm not saying it
Yeah,
could be a year. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we can go to Vegas one day and we there and we can sit on the edge of the bed and be like, let's
I don't
just go do
recommend it.
it, and
I
I'll
don't
do it,
recommend it now.
and I'll
But
do it.
I,
You
I'm not
know,
saying to you that's the attitude, Nicole. I'm just saying is that when it's
no,
right, let it happen naturally. If it takes
that's what I
three
agree with.
years,
Let it
4 years,
happen naturally.
me and my
Right.
wife,
That's what I agree with. That's what
it
I
just
agree with.
we
Like I'm
think.
not really in a hurry, like,
Yeah,
but it's something that I do want to do, but I'm not in a hurry.
no, because the damage. Listen, you got a lot
I don't
going
know. My
on.
phone messing up.
You got a
But
lot
do
going
you
on.
find, can I say this?
Yeah,
Do you find that when you are seeking a person that is your first choice, like what you think is beautiful, what you've always your preference, do you
but
find that um that you do rush things?
I feel like I do feel like because listen, even if we met each other, it was just in the beginning. Listen, we did have a couple of issues. Like I had to adapt my kids, her kids, and they all the same age. We got between both of us, we got 7 boys, no girls. So it was that part was a little hard for us because her kids are a little bit more quiet to themselves, neat. My kids nasty, messy,
Ah,
and they
no.
aggressive. They talk. If y'all think I'm who I am, my sons is the exact same way.
Now
So
listen,
for them and to come and to dealing with us, it was a big adjustment for her to even accept. That's where if we had any issue, it was always about the kids adapting to each other. But anyway,
no, and
um,
see, I agree. That's what I agree with.
yeah,
Like, it's so many things that have to come
yeah,
into play until we,
yeah,
you know, before we walk down the aisle. Because once we walk down the aisle, we say "I do."
yeah,
That means we're moving in the same household, you know.
yeah.
And so it's
Right.
like, okay, do you put your drawers in the hamper? Do you like close the toilet seat? You know, I don't know none of that. Like, I know when you
And
spend
you
the
need to
night,
know
you
that.
just do whatever on
You need to know
those
that.
nights, or if I spend the
But
night at your
but
house, your house
realistically
clean,
though,
like
you'll
it's
never
clean.
know.
But how will we be living together?
But
Right.
realistically, you'll never know because, in all honesty, a person never shows you who they are until you're married.
Correct.
Like, like
No,
you're
Right.
It
dating.
That's
takes
true.
Like in
time.
all
disagree with
I,
It
that.
honesty,
takes
I,
time.
in
I disagree
well,
with
I'm
that.
not going to say until you're
all
married. You'll
honesty,
never know
and,
who a person
and
is until you stay with them. I'm not going to say
Until
being
listen,
you
married.
stay with
You'll
them,
true,
never
until you
find
Yeah,
stay
out
in the
true.
who a
you
household with
stay
them,
with
motherfucker
But
them.
is until
listen,
you live with
until
but
you
them.
stay
listen,
with them, until you
but
live with
listen.
them, that's when you know
Hear me
how
out.
who that
Hear
person
me
You
is.
out
hold on,
though.
hold on, hold on,
Honestly,
hold on. Why do y'all
Hear,
think? Why do
hear,
y'all think? Why do y'all think that's true?
hear me out
that
Because
is
though.
that's a
true.
fact. You'll
Listen,
never, because
What makes it a fact?
but that's not
I'm
the
about to tell
truth.
you, because people can pull
I'm
a
with T.
wolf over your face. You would never
And
know a
and
true
that,
person colors
Let me
until you actually
but
live and stay with them.
let me
You will
Yes.
never
explain.
know if a
so
motherfucker is nasty and junky, because they're always going to be on their best behavior,
No, they
okay,
when
not.
you're
There you go.
not,
so
There you
when
go.
you're
listen,
staying
No.
listen
single
though,
and separate.
Here's where.
listen,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let time.
Go ahead.
listen though,
Go ahead, Tom.
Li- listen. You don't know who a person is until you're married. The person you're living with before you get married, they're two totally different people. Trust me, they are.
I'm gonna have to disagree
Because
with you on that, because you're gonna
I
know who that
disagree.
person
listen,
is. You can be
listen,
married. I mean, you
I
can be
agree
listen,
with
together
him.
with this
I
person
agree
for
listen.
with him.
How
anywhere
you
from like
just
2 to
said,
5 years,
how
and
you
from
just
that time
said,
frame,
I
you
agree.
should know who this motherfucker is by that
You
no,
time.
you're
You know what
will.
I
not.
And
No,
mean?
you're
yes,
not.
you
Let me
will.
show you. Because that's the wool over your eyes. Because a motherfucker who got papers on you and a motherfucker who's just living with you, they're two different people. When you really realize, it's just like most women. Most guys don't even abuse their woman until they're married. Like, like when it comes
I
to a
can go
guy
with
beating
that.
on a woman, he don't beat.
I
I
agree
don't
with you
agree
on
with
that,
that.
because most women would leave in the beginning if a man was to beat on them before they even got
But
married. But
but
I
most
agree with you on
women,
that.
but
But
most
I
women
want
who
Ryan, give us your opinion on that, Ryan. You weigh in.
I say,
Ryan just happy being here. He like,
That's what I'm saying. But Tom, I really want to hear what he had to say on that because he didn't finish.
Go
Right,
ahead and finish up, and we'll come back to you, Ryan.
I just feel like most women who get beat on, most women that get beat on stay more longer because they're married than a woman that's not
I
married.
agree.
and
Great.
and the guy doesn't usually show them who they are and that type of person until they got the papers on them.
A
It's,
man
it's
that's
li-
I'm gonna
abusive.
have to disagree with you
A
on
man
that, Tom,
that's
because
abusive
you
is
know,
a
because
man
if
that's
that man was to
abusive.
start
Like
beating
you
on
have to
no,
her
hide
but
that.
before their
but
marriage,
I
she's
gotta
gonna
move this a little
leave.
but
bit.
You know what I
but it's
mean? Now
just like
it should
hiding
be.
your
It probably
hand.
would be the other way around, meaning that if they're married, she probably would stay, meaning that she had a lot to lose. You know, far as the kids, the house, the marriage, and all that. You know what I mean? So
I
I'm gonna
don't
have
think
to
that's
disagree
true
with you
either.
on that. You
Can I
you will
say?
know who a person is living with them first before actually being married.
Man.
Well, this is where I disagree with every single one of you guys. You know, the one thing that God give us is the spirit of discernment. And I ain't trying to go spiritual anywhere because I ain't close to that, all that like that. But he give you discernment. So we get so caught up in that fantasy part of and you visualize it too far ahead. So you think about that person. Oh, I can see myself with this person, and you start focusing on the good things about that person. The one thing that you
True.
cannot hide, the person who you are, they do reveal themselves. I'll give you an example. When you go out to eat, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, I can be talking about something crazy, talking about something real funny, right? She said, and she was like, you know what? Yeah, because I would play that because I was a little crazy. She just told you something about herself. She just said she a little crazy. You played it off because you was having a good moment. The one
Yep.
thing about a person always revealed themselves. What we should, and this is what me and my wife both did because she just came from an abusive relationship. I came from a relationship that wasn't abusive, but I came from a relationship where I'm watching for signs because I do not want to repeat myself. So what you do is you pay attention to everything. You should be able to interview. Remember all of us were TPTs at Christ. I don't, maybe not all of us, but I was.
I was too.
Me too.
When we was TPTs, we could have gotten let go of any moment, which means that everything we was doing was
We was on our
scrutinized,
best behavior, is
was
what
on
you
our
trying to
best
say.
behavior, but you're gonna make your mistakes.
I
People,
wasn't.
I
I was the
just did my
same
job.
person.
Hey,
But I
I'm
will
just
say,
gonna say, you just said as a TBT we was on our best behavior.
I
no,
But
was.
when
but
we
no, no,
got
no.
rolled, but when we got rolled over and got
We
full
didn't give
time,
a
when
damn.
we got married, we changed up.
But
Yeah,
that's not what I'm
go.
saying.
I'm
But
just
as a
saying.
but as a
Yeah,
TP,
that's kind of true too, Tom.
but
I'm
I
as a
was
just
the
T,
same person.
Most people do
TPT
change
and
up
full
once they
time.
get married. But
but,
to stay on topic, you know,
okay.
to stay on topic,
I was getting to a point right quick.
go ahead, Joe.
Sorry.
Just I'm gonna make this quick. But as a TPT, right? They watching you. So they want to see if they're gonna keep you, bring you back in there, and they're gonna call you back or whatever, because they can get rid of you for any moment. TPT was getting walk out the door all the time at JNAP. But my thing is that that's the attitude we need to have. When you're on a 90-day probation period, or you're on a probation period, you pay attention to everything you do. As anybody who get hired a new job, everybody watching you. So that's even when we got new people on the line, we watch everything they do. So that's what we do in new relationships. When you meet somebody, you should know. So I disagree with Tom because you're supposed to be paying attention. So
Joseph,
you,
Yeah. But
I
see,
act crazy. I don't care 3 days, 4 days. I'm going to show you my real person, who I am. I'm just going to be me. Like, I ain't got nothing to hide. It's nothing for me to hide at
but
all.
Joe,
So I'm
but
going to just, if
Joe,
I'm crazy,
yeah.
I am a little off. So I'm going to show that off side because you got to know that part going to
But you
come.
can't. But
but
if
Joe,
you off, you can't hide that part though. Keep
That
thinking
part
that you
going to come out.
cover it up. You're
most
not
people,
covering it.
but most people be looking for
You
something
can't.
like most people like usually when a motherfucker get in a relationship is usually because 9 out of 10 they emotionally lonely at some stage that
Okay.
makes them want to be with somebody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they it's like a shadow game. They literally want that so bad that
Yeah.
they block what's right in front of them, just trying to get that feeling that they missing.
Yeah, I
I
got you.
can't say that.
Right.
I was single for 2 years
Yeah, but
before I
what made
started
you
dating.
go? What made you stop being single?
Because I'm getting older. I want to get married. Like I
Exactly
don't.
my point. So
Okay,
now,
now my
Not saying that
question,
I'm
now the
lonely
person
though.
that you're dating now, would he now is he
Yeah.
what made
your
him stand
first
out
First
from
choice,
choice.
everybody else?
or just or just a person that will give you the security that you need going forward now since you're older and you're looking to be married?
So I'm gonna be honest. I have multiple. I can have multiple choices.
We
Like
know this. And all the both you,
Right.
Shani, and
Well,
all
we
the
know
women can have
we know
multiple
most of
choices.
you
right,
women are
Y'all
going to have
females.
multiple
correct,
choices.
correct.
So, and that's definitely a
I
good
can have
question for
multiple
We know
most
choices.
that.
women.
Y'all
Person,
females. Y'all
he is
got
a
plenty.
person. He is a person that I decided to give my time to. He decided that I guess he want to give his time to me. We
Mhm.
came to a mutual agreement that okay, we're like exclusively dating or whatever you want to call it, and we're moving forward with our relationship. So I'm not saying like I settled for him or something like that, or it was something that because he have security for me, that's who I picked. No,
Mhm.
this was just like a mutual agreement that we came up with, and was like, okay, we're just gonna stop talking to whoever
Uh,
else we talking
but
to.
but Dame asked
I'm
out
just
of other
saying.
people. He asked by other guys that you have multiple choices with. It's the any one of them that you were looking at more than just with him. That's what he trying to ask. Like,
I was looking at somebody more before I decided to give him my time.
Yep. So
see,
that makes
that
him
means
your
he's
second
second
choice.
choice.
Right. So
He wasn't my second choice because the guy that I was giving my time to wasn't my first choice.
Then he's a third choice.
Yeah.
and it's probably for
Kind of
women, and we know women going to have
Right.
multiple options. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a
I
good,
want to hear
Hey,
it's a
look.
Shani
good
D.
question to ask. It's a
Shani
good
D. I want to
conversation to
hear
have.
your
You
choices.
know,
Okay.
Hey, look.
Not a choice.
I was happy being single with no kids, but
Right.
then it was Christmas time, and then I'm all on Facebook during that time,
Right.
and I'm looking at
Gotcha.
all my friends with their kids and their families. I'm like, shit, I want kids and families. So the next year, I went and made one. I should have
right.
never did that
I
shit, but
just
I'm
go
just
out of
saying.
town.
See,
I just go
so to
out of
answer
town.
I'm
that
with you
question,
on that
Tom.
one,
So
man.
did you marry? Tom. So you married your second choice, meaning
I
that
made.
what you just said.
Listen, I'm gonna say yeah, only because at that
And
time
ain't nothing wrong
I
with
was
that
in the
though.
light
There's
skin.
nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
saying at that time I was only in the light skinned women,
No,
Right.
and my
but
wife is the first dark skinned woman I ever been with.
no, that's not a second choice. That's just a second preference.
That's a preference.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
But
Yeah,
I'm
Right.
talking about
yeah,
Or
yeah.
well, I'm
preference.
just saying, was another girl before your wife got there?
Just the
Yeah.
girl that was cutting my name in her leg.
Yeah, he said it was another one.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So can
So
I say
Well,
that's
look,
something?
okay.
Can I say
I think
something?
this
Go
was a
ahead,
good
Shani.
conversation, a good
Okay.
topic. DJ Shiny D, do you got anything else to
Yeah,
add?
I
Yeah.
do. I
Go
do.
ahead.
I actually think that this is a lot of talk around in the corners, going around in the scenic route. I think that when you choose to be with somebody, it's just a choice.
It's just a choice.
It's just a choice. It doesn't have to be
Hmm.
first or second because no one's perfect. And
Yeah, I
so
agree.
even your first choice is gonna have some shit that you don't like or you don't. So in other words,
I agree with that.
you're still settling.
I agree. I
So
agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly because
Hmm.
most women get the man that they want, and then when they finally get the man that they want, they pick everything apart about him that they should have been like, damn, why I didn't see that before.
See, I'm gonna have
but
to agree with
Tom,
you. I'm gonna have to
who do
disagree
you
with you
fuck
on that
with?
time.
Where do you go to meet
I
these
think
people?
most women go for the security, because if they wanted, they would
Security is
go
important.
they would get the tall, dark, and handsome. So I'm gonna say most women would choose to go with security, a man who can give them security,
And
a secure lifestyle. Don't
I'm
have to
I'm
worry
with
about the
Tom
bills versus a
on this
nigga
one.
who looking good or with the looks or whatnot,
listen,
or who
look
can't do
look where
nothing
you work
for
at
'em.
right now, right? Look where you work at right now.
I agree with you,
Look
Tom.
at the average ratio. Look at the ratio of all the fine women with the ugly dudes in that bitch. Figure it out.
We don't know
Yeah,
what
All
they
the
got.
ugly,
they're probably going
they're,
with
but they're winning.
with the
Why?
second best, with the
Why?
motherfucker who can give them
But
security.
exactly
Why do you think it's second best though?
Right.
Because
because
most
their
people
first
option
choice,
would be
their first
that
choice is the cute guy that's cheating with the other women.
No,
exactly.
Why
no, no,
would
no,
you
no,
want
no,
to
no,
be
no.
with somebody that's cheating with the other women though?
Yeah,
Because
they
most
go
So
for the
most
that's
people
property
always
gap.
so
want
so but that's
someone
why
else is
you're not.
already that's occupied.
But that's
Most
why
people want to
you're.
go
But that's
after
why you're not going.
people that's already with somebody,
But
But okay,
I think you
or the
guys are
guy that
doing
everybody else always wants.
I think you guys are doing
yeah.
a lot
So
of
you're going with the guy
generalization.
that's gonna make you
I,
feel
I'm with
secure.
I'm with Shani
It's too
D.
many.
Hold on, what you
It's
say,
too
DJ
many
Johnny,
Shiny
what did
D?
you say?
I think you guys are going with too many generalizations.
That's what
I
I'm
think
with.
that it is a choice. Like if I'm with you and
Mm-hmm.
you make me laugh, it doesn't matter if you're not my type. If
Right.
that I
Oh,
want
I'm
you to
hilarious.
stimulate, I want you to stimulate my intellect as well as my groin. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yes.
sometimes that isn't always the fine one. A matter of fact, the fine ones, they don't stimulate shit because they used to getting everything because
Correct.
they're fine. So
Correct.
it is the guy that is not so attractive that kind of works harder
You're
to be
right.
with you, that kind of
But
goes
but she's definitely
mile
hearing it.
to go with you. And then if he pulls enough, he'll get you.
Yes.
He'll
Okay,
get
well,
you.
look,
That's
we're gonna do
true.
it
Because
like
I
this. Ryan,
listen,
give us your last words on this conversation,
I know she's
and
right about that.
give us your last words, Ryan, on this conversation. Let everybody know what you think about the whole conversation, the whole topic.
Yeah,
Eh,
Ryan, say something.
Yeah. Well, I was Googling this everything we was talking about, so I had to
Okay,
see
because you just can't be
what
cute
was
and
what.
not say nothing.
Uh-oh.
You gotta
But
talk. I'm not flirting, but you just can't be sitting there looking pretty and not say nothing. You gotta say some stuff.
thank you so much.
now
But
we,
some
we may have a
Max.
love or a
Oh
second
Lord,
choice on the
good
show.
God, no, God.
But go
You
ahead
know,
and
the
give
no,
entertainment
everybody
no.
your last
is
words, Ryan,
amazing.
and let everybody know what you got going on and where they can reach you. Because I know everybody got to get up and go to work tomorrow, so I'm not gonna
Oh, yeah.
You about
have
to
the show
shut
going
us
too long.
down. You about to shut us down.
I want to
Yeah,
say
We just
Damon
getting
always
going.
do that. Damon
No,
I don't know
always
because
do
why.
that.
I
Always,
don't know what everybody else got going
always.
on. I
Ain't
know
nobody
Joseph got to get up.
listen, ain't nobody
So
talking right now.
Damon,
Nobody
stop
complaining right
controlling
now.
us and let us just talk. Let
All
us
right, well,
just
go
Yeah.
ahead and talk. Well, go ahead, Ryan. Say what you was gonna say.
Now, Dave, if you tired, I get you. I
Uh,
yeah,
understand.
you can leave.
Cause
We'll
no,
keep your show
hold
going.
on.
no,
Only
I'm
because
good.
he
We can finish
drives
talking. I just didn't
because
know
he
what
drives
everybody had
Toledo
going
and
on.
stuff.
So go ahead, Ryan.
I appreciate
Give
it
us
though.
your words.
to sum it all up, I would just say, follow your heart. I've been in many situations and it wasn't like what I assumed that I wanted because it wasn't like I wanted a pretty girl, I wanted the finest girl, but I end up with what I ended up with, and it was like something real. And when you
Right,
know it's something real, it doesn't matter what nobody else think. Like you said, that generalization where we all come to feel like the number one choice is to find this girl, to find this dude, uh, and protect yourself at all costs. You know what is what in a relationship before you even get to a marriage, and you will know if the guy or the female is abusive or manipulator or just on another pattern, not on the pattern that you on.
Yes.
And,
okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna ask you that
that's
same question, Tom. Give us your last words on this conversation.
Tom with the bed.
You're right. He sounds like
Please.
he might be moving. Well, look, I'll go in. Nicole, give us your last words and your last thoughts on this conversation.
My last words is go with your heart. Say like
Nicole, funny.
real.
goofy.
Go with your heart, like Ryan said. Like it's honestly it's not about looks. Like once we grow up and we just realize that this world is so big and it's gonna be a million beautiful women, beautiful men, and we can't choose all of them, and it's hard to make a choice.
Right.
So
Yeah.
go with what goes with you. Go with who, like you said, go love who love you. Go
Exactly.
with what makes sense to you. Like when we was younger, yeah, we can pick and choose and decide, oh, I want this handsome guy or I want this real fine female. We didn't have a lot of bills and kids to take care of and, eventually tuition and all that stuff. We didn't have all those things. So yeah, we could make choices like that was just rational and didn't make sense. But now that we're grown and we have a lot of stuff on our plate and things to take care of and just being happy, like just being happy in a world that's chaotic, being happy. And if you're happy with that person, no matter what they look like, be happy.
Right.
Stick with that.
See,
Keep it rocking and make it solid.
right.
Like it don't have to be a first choice, second choice, third. No, like Shawnee said, it's not a choice. Like it's a decision that you made that, oh, this is where we're sticking at, this is what we're doing. And if it's a mutual decision between the two, keep it going. Like
That's your
just make
first
it the
choice.
best.
Okay,
Put
okay.
your
See,
bet.
and that was a good one. See, and I feel you on that. That's kind of what I said in the early. You gotta love who loves you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, and like you said earlier, Nicole, growing up, we all wanted to, get the best looking woman, and for females, yeah, you guys wanted the best looking man. But sometimes you gotta play the hand that was dealt to you. Sometimes the Lord will bring you people that you may have never even looked at, or even gave consideration of dating. You know what I mean? So sometimes you, like I said, you have to go with what's best for you, what was brought to you, and who loves you. And like even Ryan said, you have to take your time, because dealing with people, you never know. The first choice that you may want to go with, the bombshell, she may just be with you after your money. You never know. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to go with your second choice. It's always the best choice. I found out, the hard way on that one sometimes. But DJ Shiny D,
Yeah.
give us your last words. Tell me what you think about this conversation. Because I think we all kind of, hitting on the same page. At the end of the day, it's not about the looks. It's about who make you happy. It's about who can make you comfortable. And it's about who you want to spend the rest of your life with.
1
Well,
second, Shani D. I'm sorry.
no, go
Shani D,
ahead,
not to cut
Nicole.
you off. Let me add this one last thing.
No,
When
please. Go ahead.
when I say security and I want my guy to have security for me, that's because I'm coming with everything. Like I've come with the full package. My whole table, I have the table, I have the chairs already set up. I have that all. Like I have a lot of things that's going for me. I have property. I have a lot of stuff
Right.
that
To be able to offer.
I'm not just coming to the table and saying, "Oh, make this table up for me because I need your security." No, when I say security, that means you can take care of yourself. If you leave, I can take care of myself. If I leave, when we come together, we got double. That's what I mean. I mean, don't come to my table poor, broke, and hungry.
Right.
Please.
Right.
I
That's
don't.
what I mean when I say security.
Okay,
I
now
don't.
Joseph, I'm gonna
No,
have
go
you
ahead, Joseph. No,
leave
go
us
ahead,
with your
Joseph.
last
Y'all
words,
going on.
Joe.
Well,
Johnny
Shani,
was
yeah, I think Shani was next.
No, oh, okay. Well, I'll just say mine quick.
No, you ain't gotta be quick.
Okay. I just think that, I know women, I can't really speak because I'm not a man, but as a woman, there's intuition. And I got to be honest with you. Sometimes my intuition has lied to me.
It's not
You know
real.
what?
Mm.
And what I do know is the one thing that has never lied to me is my gut.
okay.
And they're two
Mhm.
different things.
Yeah, they are.
That's your
You,
second
you
brain.
gotta listen to your gut. You gotta
That's the
be
second
smart.
choice.
Yeah, my thing is,
That's a
I've
good one.
never dated a second choice. I've never dated a second choice. Because everybody that I have dated has been my first choice. And I am an older woman. I'm single. I have no children. And people think that's crazy. Like, you must be crazy. Something must be wrong with you. But to be honest with you,
I
I
say that
feel
all the time.
that somebody else
Not about you.
something else. But I feel like I'm the sanest person I know because the one thing I do get is peace and quiet.
Oof.
It's not because of not having choices or not having options. It is because you're going to have to become, you can't come into my house and into my world and disrupt my peace.
Thank you.
Cannot. Peace is important to me. When men ask like, what do I bring to the table? I always look at them a little side eye. That's really a little feminine to me for men to ask me that for real. Because if you can't just watch me and observe and see what I could contribute to your life, because a
I
man
agree.
that really wants you, your money is no good to him. And
Amen.
it's not about a gold digging thing. He
Amen.
doesn't even have to know what you bring to the table.
Right.
It is
She's
you
preaching right now.
and what he sees in you. So
Right.
I think if women just become more feminine and just,
Yep.
and stop, and it's hard to say stop being so aggressive because Black women have to be aggressive. It's some
No, you
shit
don't.
going on. And they
No, you don't.
stop it, Joseph. You're not a Black woman, so you can't answer on
Correct.
this. So
I
just
can
listen.
answer that question
Well,
to be a black woman, but I'll let you finish.
yeah, let her
Okay.
finish, Joe. Go
But
ahead,
you can tell
DJ.
me from the outside looking in. I'm telling you from the inside in, okay? I just want to find a companion
Mm-hmm.
that I could share things with. It's not about you moving in with me all the time. It's not about me moving in with you. You ain't got to pay my mortgage you because it's going to be paid. What I want to do is share things with the person. Every single guy I've ever dated is still there. They still call, they still there. So, but I
It
live in
won't you,
Detroit.
girl.
I live in Detroit now. So, trying to start a new life, I just have to go by my gut. It is my superpower. Your gut is your superpower. So take your time. Everything does not have to be so rushed. You can get to
Yeah,
know a person by just observing. I don't have to interview a person. I can
I
just
agree.
observe. However they are, it's going to come out.
Okay.
Amen.
It's going to
Most
show
Amen,
definitely.
Shiny.
All right, well,
Yes.
Joe,
Nah, it ain't no
Joe,
amen.
I'm gonna let
It
you
ain't
finish
no
up.
Yes.
You get the
amen
last
to
word,
all
and
You
I'm gonna go
that.
explained it
ahead and
way
close
better
out
than
because
I
I know
did. Thank
everybody got to
you.
get up tomorrow and go to work.
It ain't no amen to all that.
Thank
whatever.
you.
So you always devil's advocate anyway. So
Right.
Let me
we don't
explain to you why that's not an amen to all that.
We'll give your
Yes,
last
it
words,
was.
Joe.
Yes, it was.
My last words. Listen, let's be clear. First of all, you don't have to be masculine or all that to be strong and be on guard. Your being feminine is just stay feminine. You could be feminine and smart. Masculine is a man thing. You don't ever have to be a man, no matter if you by yourself or you figuring it out. You ain't got to do all that. It doesn't take all that. I don't need to be feminine or be soft just so I can be on guard or be ready for something. No, stay feminine. You don't have to be masculine whatsoever. Being
Okay, but what if
being feminine is
I
you could be smart and feminine at the same time.
Joseph, we are talking about this world who is not very conducive to Black people. And we have single mothers out there who are raising sons. They have to be masculine and feminine sometimes
Can I say
too.
something to you?
Yes, please.
Explain to me when have this world ever changed?
Well, I
You
don't
get
know.
you,
It's
I'm gonna
you
it's
be letting
changed
them
a
first.
lot.
no no
It
no
has
no no hold
changed
on
a
hold on.
lot.
Let's be honest. We got to really think about this. When have the world ever changed? You keep saying that this world has changed. No, it hasn't. And you said the world had changed against black people. We are always, as black people, has been public enemy number one. It's
Well,
never
Joseph,
changed.
How
I
how
agree.
have it been
I agree
so?
with that. Wait a minute, let me say this
Well,
real quick.
that may be a different subject and a
Let me
different
say
Okay,
conversation. But
I'm
go
with
ahead,
you, Dame,
DJ.
on that.
Joseph, I could read about history all day, but this is the first time that I myself is living on this earth right now. So
Okay.
I can only speak about what I am going through and what I see other Black people going through right now.
You
Okay, so
don't. You
I'm
you you.
saying that if my son wants to play football and I am a single woman, I got to get out there and play football. If somebody is picking on my son, I got to go out there and confront somebody. So women have had to be masculine a lot. What are you talking about?
No, you
Well, you
don't.
know what?
Where
Go
when
go
in
ahead.
the
I'm
world?
say what you're gonna say,
David.
Nicole, and then I'm gonna go in there and close out because I think
Where in
that's
the
another
world?
That's another
conversation. But go
topic,
ahead,
That's
That's
DJ.
David,
another
another
topic.
conversation.
Yeah.
But
and
where in
I'm
the
ready for that
world?
one.
Where in? Okay, I know that it was okay. I don't know, like if anybody on here like the same sex. Where in the world that we didn't
Hope
have
not.
more men that is on men and more women that is on women? That's not a different world we living in.
So here's the thing: what y'all confused with.
Good point, Nicole.
You are confusing what you see
Preference.
as no 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 no. That's not nothing about preference.
That's preference and gender to me. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, for sure on that one. But what I'm referring to is that what you're seeing now is what technology has done. All technology did was expose what's always been there.
But it was
It
quietly,
was
right?
no
It
no
was
no.
quietly.
It's only as loud as it is. It's because we got the technology to blow it up.
So is this a different world?
No,
It is
it's the
correct.
It's a
same
different
world.
world we living in.
I, I'm
The-
I'm
Nicole.
I'm gonna have to agree with the women on that. Because the world.
Yes.
Listen, things change in the world. Every day.
What
You know what
what
I mean? The
changed?
world itself isn't going to change, but things in the world do change, and I think that's what the women, are
Okay, but
talking about, Joe.
explain to me what changed.
Like
We just
like
said it.
Nicole even just said, like how we went from men and women to men on men and women on women. You know,
Hold on.
that's a dramatic change
That's
in
a very
society.
dramatic change for us.
The
Yes.
only thing, listen, unless you, I'm not saying you people were in the Bible, but that was talked about in the Bible.
That's fine.
I mean, regardless
but it
of
was
what.
But hold on,
quietly.
But
hold
we're
on. No, it wasn't. If it was quietly, then why God destroyed the world? That's why God flooded the world the first time, was because of the sin of the same sex and all that
So
stuff that
when
was
we
going
grew
on.
up, so Joseph, when you grew up, you seen multiple every day in the grocery store, in the across the street, in the mall. You seen just men on men and women on women. When you was
No.
growing up, this was
So
what you seen.
so no, when I if you talk about as many people doing it, no, that's changed. But the concept of homosexual and the concept of the thing that you see today was going on yesterday.
I'm not saying that it didn't exist. I'm saying how loud it is. And that was the point of us saying how we have to be masculine at this point, because we don't even really have a lot of men that's masculine. So of course we're going to take over and step in. Like she said, it's females that's raising sons that
and these sons get to
have
be
to act
like
like a man.
16, and they bigger than their mamas.
Yeah, we definitely need to
So
have this
Well, look,
conversation.
that's definitely going to be for
But
another
I'm gonna say my
conversation. You
last.
know,
I'm gonna say my last.
most definitely.
I'm gonna say my
But
last
yeah,
thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. I think at the end
Okay.
of the day,
All
we
right.
all agreed on, you know, the conversation and subject we were talking about.
Mhm.
Your partners, were you your first partner's first choice, or were you a second choice, or just a secondary choice for your partner? But I believe we all agreed on one thing: love who loves you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't go with looks, you know, or the person that you can't go. You just can't go with looks all the time. You have to go with who you spend time with, who you grown to love, who respects you as a person, who's going to cater to your needs, who's going to love you just for you. You know, at the end of the day, you have to love
Yeah.
who loves you for you. You know, so I don't have anything else to add to that conversation, DJ Shiny D. If you have anything else to add to that, if not, we can go in there and close out.
I just want to say, guys, this was a great show. I want you
Yeah, do
guys
this
to
again.
rest because y'all got one more day to work tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And we want to come in with good spirits. But this was wonderful. I really like this. So.
Yes.
Yeah, me
Look,
too.
I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming on the show, and I want y'all to excuse me. I was a little I trying to get everybody in here. I stumbled and bumbled over a few words, just trying to send out all the text messages and make sure everybody was able to attend the show who wanted to come on. You know, but I want to thank each and every one of you guys who came on the show. It definitely was a good conversation. You know, it definitely was something to, you know, sit and talk to your significant other about. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us probably going to go and have conversations with, you know, our boyfriend or girlfriend or our husband or wives, you know, after this, you know, because I definitely had a conversation with my wife, you know, about this topic before the show, you know, and she was kind of spectacle about, you know, about the conversation that we were going to have, you know, like, you know, what you mean second choice?
Right.
Is I your second choice? And I had to explain to her, like, no, you my first choice. You know, so so a lot of people, this is a conversation
Good
that a lot of
answer.
people quiet up or don't want to talk about. You know, I just want to have this conversation with you guys. And like I said, I want to thank you guys again for coming on the show. It's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and I am out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out. Peace out.